Hi, this is Gold Teeth, and today we're going to talk about the fourth step of uh, gold extraction from gold platings using nitric acid and copper. We talked about the first step, that is surface preparation. The second step, that is acid pool. The acid pool is only nitric acid. We talked about how to take out the deposits of acid pool and separate them from nitric acid. And in this video we want to talk about how to uh, do the initial melting. So basically what you want to do here is to uh, just alloy copper with gold and melt copper with gold, melt them down together, so the other components that may be in your acid pool and in your deposits should be removed, and copper here helps us to clarify the gold. And in the next uh, videos I explain how to remove that copper and you get your pure gold. So before we go any further, please make sure to like and subscribe, and tell us in the comments if you've ever had a problem melting down gold. In the previous videos we talked about how to prepare the surface. We heat up the boards, remove the components. We said the best tool to do that is an industrial dryer. The next thing we talked about is the acid pool, which was pure nitric acid, and we set the time and the temperature in that video. And when we talked about why we do this, we talked about the color of the gas, the color of the nitric acid, and we talked about how to filter out the nitric acid and get the gold deposits. We said that those gold deposits are not pure gold, so if you try to melt them down, you wouldn't get a good result. We talked about these deposits here, and basically what we want to do, our work here is with these deposits. So the melting down is not just melting down, is melting down with copper. And copper helps us to clarify the deposits of gold and make it pure. Okay, so what you want to do is to weigh twice of the weight of gold that you think you have. Like if you have 2 grams of gold, you should weigh 4 grams of copper. So basically you need twice of the gold amount that you have. And you need borax. The borax is a white powder. It helps the gold to melt down in a lower temperature. The other thing that you need is is your gold foils, of course, and is a melting plate. Your melting plate should look like something like this. It should have a handle like this, so you can really focus the flame here. You should have a place to let me just remove it so you can see. You should have a place like this to let you pour down the melting copper and gold, and it should be thick, that wouldn't break, because it's really common, and all of these plates will break someday, but the thick ones maybe break a little bit later. Because if you use a bad plate like this one here, this one was small, like an inch or so. It was looked like this. It didn't had any handles. So you can really compare these two together. This wasn't a very good plate, and it broke in the first melting. I mean, Jesus. Okay. So as you can see, the plate should be thick. It has some girth, and it should have a handle. The flame you use, you can use map gas. Map gas, really takes the time you're putting. It's really essential to use a map gas, and the head here is a smith. So the other point in melting down copper and gold is not to take too much time, because if you take too much time, you probably break your plate and it will look like something like this. For this one, I think I put up the the map gas. I put the map gas on it for like 15 minutes and it broke it. But this one here, I'm using it for several months, and the whole melting process takes 2 or 3 minutes. Let me write it here, 2 or 3 minutes. I repeat, 2 or 3 minutes tops. And yes, so that way the plate will take longer time. It work for you for like 6 months or so. You can use preheating. It really helps to longer the lifetime of your plate. You can preheat. You can preheat with borax. There are many videos about that. You should put the borax little by little on the empty plate, because as I said, breaking plates is really common. So you should put the borax there little by little and heat it up so it makes a cover on your plate, and you can use the plate for longer times. Okay, so the result you'll get will look like something like this. This is copper plus gold minus any other components that is in your plate. We said that the gold deposit is not clear, so you need to clarify it. You should take the copper and melt it down with gold so that it separates it from other components, and you get your gold plus copper pieces like this. So in the next process, we want to talk about how to drive the copper out of the copper gold alloy, and we use nitric acid as well as the last process, because nitric acid dissolves copper very fast and is really effective. So be sure to check that out, and copper plus nitric acid method is a really good method. It's really profitable and it has economical reasoning, even if you have a little shop or you just have a little amount of gold to extract. So please make sure to comment and subscribe and tell us if you ever had problem extracting gold, and make sure you hit that notification button. Thank you for your attention.